And what's going on, everyone? My name's Tom. This is Completing the Circuit Podcast, episode 15. As you know, I got my good friend Joe here.
What's going on?
And you know what? Today we have Aaron.
Every day we have Aaron.
Every day we have Aaron. I just went straight to the cut on that one. I figured instead of screwing with you.
Every day we have Aaron.
So Joey's entered a dark place. We're going to try to bring him back into the light with some tech news.
Did you let the kids in the basement go?
We're not going to get into that right now. Instead, we're going to get into some
Okay,
fun
that's
stuff.
probably not something you should joke about.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's dark. It's dark times out there, Joseph. We can't be talking about kids in basements unless they're playing video games and messing with their iPhones.
COVID.
Anyway, so all of that aside, so last week we talked a lot about iPhone stuff, and go figure, shortly after, the Apple announced the date, which is, who called it last week? Aaron did. It's the 13th. Right? Okay, so she's nodding her head.
Woohoo! There we
go. A little bit of energy.
Yeah, great job, Aaron. Yeah, can we start over? Yeah, lack of energy.
Are you being serious?
I don't know.
Okay. We're not starting all over again. We're gonna we're good. So we got what the hell is wrong with you? This freaking guy. Okay. So we're gonna start it off with that, and there's a bunch of tech news this week. Kind of minor, but definitely better than last week. Mostly gaming focused, but let's get into some of the stuff. So what do you got for us, Aaron?
Okay. So it's some of the stuff that we are expecting to see for this one. The iPhone 12, of course. AirTags, the tile trackers. Mm-hmm. AirPod Studios, which we've talked about a couple times. Apple TV, which looks like it's going to be the same, not like an actual Apple TV, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's the Apple. It's just
it's just for gaming. Honestly, that's it.
You think so?
Apple TV. This Apple TV thing, they're going to be focusing on gaming now.
You think so? I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it's all over the place that they're focusing on gaming now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, if you look up this Apple TV stuff and what they're saying, it's mainly focusing on gaming.
Yeah, no, that would be cool, especially this huge switch to the ARM stuff. We saw some specs, some benchmark of some of the ARM stuff that's going to be coming out, and the numbers.
Not excited.
Huh?
I'm not excited.
You're not. Well, I like
if they keep coming out with the games that
yeah.
I've been seeing. Nah.
Yeah, some of those are pretty brutal. But if they let you pair an Xbox controller to it, that's a good start. I mean, you could already do that to your iPad and your iPhone. So,
yay.
You know, baby steps.
Xbox controller for slashing trees.
Slashing trees? What, are you referring to some kind of
some game?
Minecraft Fruit Ninja combo?
No, just you. I'm telling you, I saw a game today where it was literally slashing marbles.
You slash marbles?
I guess so. That's what the game said, and it showed him slashing marbles.
Okay.
So yeah, give me an Xbox controller so I can slash up some marbles.
Yeah, no, that seems a bit excessive. But it looks as okay. Well, I mean, we'll look out for it and see what they talk about. They're probably going to go in slow, especially with the new gen consoles coming out. They're never going to pull the news away for gaming on their part. So they'll probably put their pieces, get them ready. And then they'll strike.
Yeah. So then we
Apparently
have the Apple Silicon Max that Joey mentioned about a month ago. Something like that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I forgot.
And then a new HomePod, but it's rumored that it's not going to be a HomePod 2. It's going to be a HomePod Mini. And that is rumored by a reliable leaker.
Is there a rumored price on that?
There is... It is about $199.
$199.
Or about $149.
What?
For the HomePod Mini.
Oh.
It's a HomePod, but smaller.
Get a Google if you really just, if you want the good sound and pay that. If you're going to get the Mini, just get a Google thing.
I think a Mini is perfect because we have a bunch of HomePods, and it would be kind of nice for me to have a HomePod on my nightstand so that I can set my alarm without waking you up.
Yeah.
I can just go, hey, set alarm for 4:30 a.m.
Okay, as long as you don't say the Siri part.
They sleep in separate bedrooms, the Christian family.
I also
Anyways,
never ever
What
wake up at
Christians
4:30.
sleep in the same bed all the time?
Not when they're not married.
I
So
have no words. I have no words.
no. So here's another thing about Apple that what I'm surprised that see silicone Macs on there, because the rumor is that they're not going to be mentioning anything about that during this.
They're not going to have. I heard that they might do a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air with ARM in it. You don't think so?
Maybe, but what people are really waiting for is those silicones and
Silicon.
silicon. Sorry,
Silicones is it's a little different. The silicon.
it's a silly thing, silly con. So no, a lot of people are waiting for those kind of Macs, and so the rumor is there's going to be so much to talk about that they're not going to be able to fit that in. And they don't that they'll mention everything else that's on there, but except for this silicon.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they save it for their March event along with iPad Pro. So here's a new iPad Pro and here's new
Funny
MacBooks.
thing is, rumor is they'll have another one in November of this year.
Get another event in November?
Yes, it'll be the first time in Apple's history to have 3 of them.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit excessive. Maybe that'll be Apple glasses.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
They're also
Or-
rumoring that it's one of two ways. So if you guys have seen it, correct me. It's either that the thought is that they're going to announce the regular iPhone 12 during this one and then the minis at a later date, or vice versa, that they're going to announce the mini ones and then the real ones later. It was something like that. But
the iPhone 12 announcement.
yeah, I heard that they were more than likely going to split those two up. I don't know how true that is.
I think right now the rumor is that they're going to announce all of them.
I
in
hope
this
so.
one.
Yeah, that would be a dumb way
I mean,
to
it'd
launch.
be,
Yeah.
it'd be stupid because, I guess, I was surprised. There's a lot of people that want the mini.
Yeah.
There is a lot of
Aaron,
people.
yeah, a lot of people.
And I was very surprised. So for them to separate that, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
Since now you're going to do an announcement, usually Apple, after their announcements, 2 weeks, 3 weeks that the iPhones get in the stores and launched.
It's the following Friday.
Also a week.
Oh, wow.
It's a little over a week because
Okay.
they'll announce it on Tuesday. Pre-orders will happen that Friday.
Yeah.
Crap. And then yeah, we all know how the pre-order stuff's been going this year. Everyone's been home.
Well, maybe no one will have money because they spent it on.
No, they'll have money.
You know what? Apple's,
Oh yeah, they will because they didn't get their Xboxes.
the Apple pre-orders don't. They're usually pretty good.
They are, and they have so many options, and I don't think people are as enticed by a new iPhone as they once were.
Don't they have something in place with detecting bots? If I'm not mistaken.
So
For phone call bots.
No, for pre-orders.
So
Like,
here's the thing. When you get how does it work again? I don't know necessarily if they have bot protection. I mean, since you can only buy them through the Apple website or through AT&T and what have you, because you can get them unlocked, which basically means no phone number required.
right.
But they probably limit the number of those you could actually fetch in one pull.
Okay.
Right? Because it's like that would be incredibly not smart if a scalper were to be like, well, I'm going to go get 3,000 phone numbers so I can scalp these phones and pay for those. That's a really stupid way to do that.
Right.
So they might have a little protection that way. I mean, it's possible. I've never seen scalping of iPhones ever been an issue, though. It's always game consoles and concert tickets.
It's just with the only reason I'm bringing that up is because with everyone being at home, you got everyone. You have the cybersecurity issues now that have gone up, way up since being at home. So I was wondering if possibly, people being unemployed, some people might be getting desperate.
Oh, that's an interesting take on it. Yeah, I could see people messing with some of those like scalping websites that you just pay like a little bit a month, get into it, and just say, hey, I'll go and buy a bunch of iPhones.
Yeah.
iPhones might be a little bit tougher of a sale
That's what I was thinking too.
because it's usually Apple's pretty good with the supply.
Yeah.
And not only are they good with the supply, there are so many variants of them that it's like, first of all, the demand's not going to be nearly as high as like it's going to be for the PlayStation 5. And like Aaron said, a lot of people just burned their money on that. That is an interesting thought that people would be getting into scalping as a way to, get some extra side cash.
Yeah, I mean, some people might be hurting enough where they're like, I got to do something.
Yeah. That's plausible.
Plus, the other thing too is you got, and don't be so sure about people spending their money because, yeah, they spent their money on that, but if they go through their cellular service, T-Mobile, AT&T, whatever the case is, they can get the phone for that and put $50 down, and you got the pre-order, and
exactly
there you go. So
it's gonna look bad in the shot. Hold on, I'm pouring myself water. It's just gonna happen.
So I the sales could be actually higher than you think.
Yeah, it's plausible. I was surprised to find out that car sales are the highest they've ever been in the area right now. When I went over to BMW the other day, they were telling me that they have, in their 80, 90-year history of them being a car dealership, that September was like the highest selling month they ever had. Like, they sold more cars than they ever had in the entire history.
Doesn't surprise me.
He said I think it was at the end of every week they had to refill their lot.
Yeah, and because the factories were closed because of COVID, the supply went up, or the supply went down, demand's going up because everyone has this extra income because they're not spending on gas and maintenance and stuff. So they're like, yeah, I'll go get a luxury car. Which, I mean, that's a little mind-boggling to me when you think about the state of things.
No,
it's at least a little counterintuitive.
The reason it doesn't surprise me is because you got these people who, if there was no COVID, they'd be traveling. You got a lot of those traveling people for business. Well, they can't go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So now they're all working at remote, and they're probably like going nuts.
Yeah.
And so they're like, screw it. I make X amount of dollars.
Yeah, and then they're not spending as much. But it's you would think, because now, job welfare is uncertain right now. So, like, I guess people could just go in and just say, screw it, I don't care. I'm just going to go get the car anyway because, if I lose, they're not thinking in that way.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
They're probably going to be in for a rude awakening, too, when things go back to normal and they're spending a bunch of money and all of a sudden they can't afford the things that they used to be able to afford, or that $6,000 maintenance bill hits them and they're like, what?
These people, the people that buy them, they probably have another car that they'll just use and store that one away and use it for, weekends.
I've seen people that do that kind of stuff with the German cars. They just, they keep them for like a summer weekend car.
Getting back to Apple. I actually have something to ask you because I ran past this and I believe it came out 2 years, a year ago. Apple Car.
Apple Card or car?
Car.
Oh, car.
Apple Car.
Okay.
Tim Cook came out and said that they are making an Apple Car.
Get out of here.
And I actually I don't know how I came across. I forgot how I came across.
Do you remember where you saw it? Where you saw that story?
I was watching YouTube, and there was a clip of him talking about Apple Car.
Okay.
And there's actually a clip of him doing this at an Apple event announcing the Apple Car.
That sounds vaguely familiar. Okay, well, keep going.
And so what I'm trying to get at is I wonder, I know this was a random thing, but I just want to know, I wonder how far they are from it. Because I believe that was a year or two ago. And now there's another thing that someone brought up. I didn't go into the article, but they're saying, could Apple rival Tesla?
Oh, yeah, they could. First of all, the Apple fan base, I'm already interested and I don't like electric cars. And I 100% guarantee that that's going to be an electric car. Hands down, no questions asked. If it's not electric, if it's petrol in any way, shape, or form.
I doubt it. Tim Cook's very environmental.
He's very environmental. So now you have that. And it's Apple, which means that it's going to work. And it has to be faster.
Yeah.
But it has to be like, it's faster, but that's not the point. Like,
it's faster and smoother. And
so, Dom, according to this, in 2015, Apple hired several Tesla Motor engineer managers.
Yeah.
So they hired a bunch of Tesla people. Apparently, there's secret headquarters.
I'm surprised they didn't just buy Tesla outright when they had the chance. Because, I mean, now it's impossible. The stock prices are way too high. But they had a moment where they probably could have just came in. Here you go. Here's your $200 billion.
Elon Musk, I don't think he would let it go.
Well, it depends. It depends on how much of the company he owns. I don't know what his shares are. I mean, if he owns more, yeah. And you know what? You're right. Even if he would probably find a way to fight it or stop the deal or something like that, because he's just one of those kind of guys. That's his thing.
And did you say a secret headquarters?
Yep.
Okay, so that's funny. That's funny. Because,
and this article is recent, too.
So the reason I'm kind of saying that's funny is, did you know that the first iPhone,
the first
iPhone that came out there was a bunch of things where Steve Jobs had a bunch of the Apple technicians who were at a secret headquarters, just like what she just said. And they were that's where they were designing and doing all this for Apple, for the iPhone. They brought in, what's that company? They actually bought out a company, and I'm sorry for bringing this up because I know it's old news, but they bought a company out, and I forgot what the name of it was, but they were the first company to come up with touching the screen.
They had the multi-touch.
The multi-touch. So they bought them and brought that guy onto Apple, who was actually the owner of that company.
Yeah.
And so it's a fascinating story. I watched it today, so I'm kind of just like all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, the secret headquarter thing just cracks me up because that's what they used back then.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, again, it seems plausible. Obviously, and a car is much bigger than a phone, and there's a lot more regulations that they're gonna have to deal with. But I would imagine Apple doing a car. First of all, they're not going to release a car every year. That's number one. They'll probably it'll probably be like a car. They release a new version of that car every 5 years, but you can upgrade that car right out of the get-go.
They'll have updates.
Right, it'll have system updates just like Tesla, but they need to have
14.5.
Like hardware level updates. One of the things that I really like about German cars, but that BMW and Audi and all of them don't actually condone, is retrofitting. They basically design the parts in such a way that you can add on stuff you didn't get later and code it into the car. And that's because they just create so many different versions of all the different parts that you basically have some of the stuff, but you just got to replace some wiring harnesses and so on and so forth. It's not perfect for everything, and it's not that you can't do that with other cars, but for some reason the German cars seem to be really easy to do the retrofits. So I would just love to see Apple make it so it's like, okay, you just ordered your car, you couldn't get it with the heads-up display, but now 2 years from now, all right, fine. Here's $1,500. Here's your heads-up display, whatever, and you can just bring it to a dealership and do it, and you can keep the car and keep upgrading and adding crap to it.
Yeah,
because it makes sense, and I can see why the German companies wouldn't be about this, right? In their mind, they're probably saying most people lease the cars, they have them for 3 years, and they move on to the next thing. Not many people own, so it's probably not conducive. It's not probably doesn't support the business overall and make a lot of money. But for someone like Apple. Oh, I could see someone holding onto a car for 7 years and throwing upgrade after upgrade after upgrade in that thing. 100%.
Especially if their cars can last like their Macs and iPhones, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I could totally see. What the hell is that thing? No,
that's actually the Burger Mobile.
Instead of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, it's the Apple Burger.
Yes. Mike Pence is excited.
So, for those who are not watching, that is a weird half gold.
The bottom half of the car is gold. The top half is black, and it's shaped like a pill.
It's like a pill egg type ordeal.
So it's a Viagra with wheels.
Viagras are blue.
Yeah, but this one's special. This one has you can last with. Mirror. Yeah, you're going to guarantee 24-hour.
I don't know if we should beep that word. We'll put a marker down. I'll think about it later. You might get beeped for what you just said. We'll find out. It's super obvious based on the context what you said, but
And did you
PG-13.
By the way, you might want to beep something else out. Because I said it's the Bergamo appeal, and then I said that.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to. Yep, this is going to be one of those. All right, you're at 2.
Sorry.
I'm bringing your cap down to 3. You'll get one more, and then you're done. Joey's looking at me with disdain. So, what I would love to see though, how like my car has like the little heads-up display, and like they have them like right above where your line of sight is. I want to see the whole freaking windshield, right? Imagine you see like half of the windshield's the map, and you could look over and you could see, I got to turn that way, and you could see like all that AR crap just fully integrated.
For a guy that doesn't have screens in the back, you sure want a lot of things.
I'm right there. I just got to get the tablets.
Yeah, tablets.
They're more fully functional than the screens would have been.
Tablets.
And they're actually, well, I don't know about more cost effective.
We're not talking about your car anymore.
What the whole segment's been about cars. Anyway, so what was there anything else that they were going to announce?
At the event tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or next week. Sorry. Not that I know of.
Okay.
That's all that was on my list.
I mean, I'm mostly excited about the iPhone, the AirPods Studio.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
you're excited about the iPhone.
I want to see the new design, and if the rumors are true and they made a color that's like this, I'm gonna be very excited because I am so sick of the standard colors. I am.
I am too.
It's just what is it? It's always black. It's always white. It's always gold.
It's for
It's
people
always
that
pink.
are colorblind, like
That's
me.
fine. They're still gonna have that, but for those of us
No.
who see perfect color,
No.
who have perfect
you
color
guys
vision,
get everything else colored. We get those phones.
fine. You get those. That doesn't mean we have to miss out.
Yes. Because we miss out every day.
It's true. Next story. It's gonna look cool. I could see the Aura Glow iPhone. That'd be cool.
Joey can seize it too.
Joey can seize it.
All right.
Joey can see it too.
Aaron's drinking while doing this.
got in
We
that
can
cup?
tell.
I'm drinking water.
Vodka. Next.
Vodka water.
Yeah, vodka water.
I wouldn't complain.
But you got some White Claws in there.
Probably.
I wouldn't complain about that either.
No, you definitely wouldn't. She's got some
She
bubbles.
has the wine.
Yeah, Apple TV. I'm not super excited. What else can they possibly do to it besides making it gaming focused?
It says there's going to be a new hardware box.
Right. So the hardware is probably going to be upgraded, like graphics wise, for
It's
games.
gonna
Because
be-
otherwise, what can it really do?
8K.
It can look different.
It's no longer 4K. It's 8K.
It's not going to look any different. It's still going to be the same little black box. It'll
It
probably
could
do. It'll
look
probably
different.
support 8K if the PS5 could do it.
Even though they could just maybe. Nah, they can't. Never mind.
I want them to put a frickin' vibrator into the remote, and that sounds
Excuse
bad.
me?
That sounds bad, but those remotes get lost so easy, and I
I'm
want to.
working on it.
I want to be able to tell Siri. I want to be able to tell Siri to find the damn remote because those stupid things get mixed up and lost, and it drives me crazy. There's one that is eternally lost forever. It is in this apartment, but we will never find it.
Oh, God.
Presumably in this apartment.
No, it's here. It's here.
Unless
Ju-
it
just
walked into
'cause-
someone's pocket and left.
Yeah. Whose pocket could it have walked in?
Joey.
Why would I want to take your stupid remote?
So you
Oh,
have
he didn't
two.
even have an Apple TV at that point.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make any
And
sense.
I already have 2 Apple TVs. Why would I take your
No.
remote?
No,
you
this was
do.
years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
I probably did.
Before
take
you
it.
had one.
And then I sold it on eBay.
There we go.
And by the way,
And more likely, like Joey was saying, more likely to be graphics related. Silicon Max, I hope to see them because I really want to see those benchmarks. But if we don't, we don't. Yeah, no. And then the HomePod Studio, that's
that
gonna be cool.
That I'm excited about.
If those come out hardcore, we may have to get ourselves a set to do some reviews on and stuff because that's gonna be. I'm really interested in what Apple would do over the ear, right? That basically kind of encompasses all the sound. What are you doing with that notebook?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Keep
All right,
talking.
okay, so Joey's gonna take notes apparently. So, yeah, I'm really curious to see what. That's the most distracting thing I've ever seen. What is it that you're doing with that with that notebook?
Don't worry about what I'm
He's
doing.
gonna draw me naked. That's yeah. So, I think that about covers all the Apple stuff. What else we got?
So this is from the New York Times, just to encompass all of it now. House lawmakers condemn big tech's monopoly power and urge their breakups. So this would be Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook. So this effectively says that these companies have abused their power by setting and often dictating prices, rules for commerce, search, advertising, social networking, and publishing. And this all kind of stemmed from the 30% argument and a bunch of other things that have been going on recently with big tech companies.
Oh, Joey, thoughts? He's mimicking me. I play with my hair a lot. Here, I'm gonna fix it right now. There we go. He's going back to the pen and
So,
paper.
thoughts? That's good. That's good. I'm happy that they're doing this.
Okay, Aaron, get a marker ready. Okay, this. So we had some technical issues a minute ago where we lost a whole bunch of like 10 minutes of audio recording. So we're doing this segment again. And Joey had very different thoughts before, and I want to hear those thoughts. Not your new thoughts when you got educated on what a monopoly is. And on the spot.
Go.
So, I think it's a great thing.
He's going to roll with it. He's going to stick with it.
Okay.
You know.
Why do you think it's a great thing, Joey?
Oh, because it's going to create more jobs and this way. Spotify,
create more jobs.
Spotify people don't lose their jobs.
So there's a huge leap in context there.
It's just a great thing. It's gonna be huge.
Oh,
It's just gonna be huge.
Here we go.
Oh, it's gonna be huge.
I don't know if we. Yeah,
No.
get that.
Heesh.
No, you're gonna have to do something.
I mean, I have to do something.
Because I did the Trump thing, and the
Well,
circle.
It's
SNL
gonna
and
be-
everything that
I apologize if this is going to be. There might be a very long beep, and if there is, I apologize because Joey said something.
Mark
I
is
didn't
ready.
say anything. It's what
Okay, well then there's going to be a large censor on Joey's footage.
Thank you.
Oh,
We'll see. We're trying to keep it PG, but we're still learning the rules.
But no. So the way I see it, I think it's a great idea because it's gonna split. These big companies are gonna get split up in different. What do you call it? Where different sections of the company. So basically, like for an example, if Apple gets it, one section will be computers, one section will be phones, one section will be this, that, and the other. I just think if this goes through, it's companies like Spotify where those workers, which right now they have 4,405 employees, won't have to worry about losing their jobs, and other smaller companies can still survive.
So, in the original segment, I had initially said I can see why Facebook and Amazon definitely can get hit, right? Because Amazon has AWS, and AWS is a huge source of revenue for Amazon as a company as a whole, right? Like, they have Netflix, right? And they're making money off of Netflix because Netflix is hosted on AWS. And then, you're getting Amazon Prime for, your groceries and categories and stuff, right? So those two things are not correlated, right? Those can be separated and Amazon will be fine. Facebook has a whole other issue in the sense of, they basically monopolize the online social culture of the United States and arguably even large parts of the world, possibly Europe. But I mean, I think their laws are a little stricter on Facebook. I'm not entirely sure. So I can see a strong case, and this isn't even me being anti-Bezos like I always am. I mean, I am anti-Bezos, but I see how, from a practical, objective standpoint, Amazon is made up of a bunch of different little companies that really don't have a whole lot to do with each other. Google and Apple, outside of this the App Store thing, which I do understand the monopoly aspect of that, I still don't see. Google really is only two things. Their search, and then there are a bunch of other little stuff. And that's really all they are. That's really what they are. But Apple, their whole company is designed in such a way that everything works with everything. You cannot have Apple get split up where they're now orange and watermelon, and those two companies, right? That's a parody because Apple's a fruit, so you have those two fruits. It doesn't matter, right? So if you split it up into smartphones, you split it up into laptops, their whole thing is their continuity. And so the systems that have made them so successful won't function. Apple needs to stay whole. And I love my Apple stuff, but like functionally, I think that would destroy them. I do not think they would be able to succeed. I don't think people would enjoy their products. Actually, I saw something Trevor Noah was talking about this story on YouTube. Like, the first question we got to ask is how do these companies get there in the first place? And that's because we love their stuff. I mean, Google search works. If it didn't work when we're looking for whatever it is we're looking for, Joe, whenever we're looking for that kind of stuff, whatever it might be, he's making a strange face.
This guy is talking about something. I don't know where you're going with this.
Anyway, so it's not important of where I'm going with what you
Crickets.
search for.
Crickets.
I do hear a little cricket noise. No, what is? But they're there because they're like the best. Now, when they do anti-competitive stuff, like what Bezos has been doing, where a product will become popular, let's say an HDMI cable. Suddenly everyone wants HDMI cable. So what Bezos will do is he'll take a bunch of money, he'll go make a bunch of really cheap HDMI cables, and then sell them in front of all the other HDMI cables as Amazon Basics. That's not cool. And Apple's probably done some similar stuff with Apple Music versus Spotify.
Yeah, but I will say this. You got Amazon Basic stuff, right? I've used it, you've used it, I know it. But that's the beautiful thing about reviews. And it's another thing, a lot of people know about HDMI cables.
That
Or
was
they
just an example.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying with that example though, there's other things to go with that. There's other Amazon basic stuff, such as you have HDMI, you have I'm trying to think what other stuff. There's controllers. There's
there's lots of Amazon.
There's all
basic
these
stuff,
different things.
Cameras.
Yeah,
phone cases.
People know that. Okay, yeah, I can get this for Amazon Basic for this price, but I know for a fact that's not going to be as good as this. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the reviews, if you go on there, there's pictures, there's this, there's that. People are describing what this is going to happen. You read it. People that are looking at cameras, obviously they know about photography. Because here's the thing. What if a person's searching for cameras, they're more in the photography than... Because otherwise, the person that wants to just take just pictures for pictures is going to use your phone.
But here, real quick, Aaron, go to Amazon.com and just do a search for HDMI cables. Because I do hear what you're saying, but this is a problem with lots of things. This is what I'm saying. You do a search for HDMI cable. You can do it on your computer. If you do a search for HDMI cable, you're going to see Amazon Basics is the first one. Above that, there's a sponsored slot for iVanke cables. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with that. Then you see Amazon Basics. It has 165,000 reviews and sits currently at 4.5 stars, or 4.7 out of 5 stars. The next option down, which is also sponsored, meaning someone had to pay for it, is a cable that's $10.99. So it's a little over $1 more, and only has 1,300 reviews for about the same rating. If you go down again, non-sponsored slot, it's Amazon Choice, whatever that means, right? And you could see there's a huge disparity between the number of reviews that Amazon Basics are getting, and that's because Amazon controls the platform. And when they control the platform, they can put their stuff in front of everything else. And for you and I, an HDMI cable, it's like, yeah, we can do our research. We know what to look for. But someone who's just looking for an HDMI cable because they just bought a TV and they're like, oh, I need this thing. All right, let me get it on Amazon real quick. Boom. First one, done. They're not going to think about the quality. They're not going to think about stuff like that. They're just going to look at the reviews. And Amazon's going to give themselves preferential treatment. And they're going to make more money off the sale of that. And so it's anti-competitive, is the basic argument. And there we go. We're back on screen. And that they do that with a lot of products.
And again, we had this discussion in podcast before, where I stood. I'm all for downside monopolizing, but I'm not going to sit here and be like,
you're not for monopoly. You got to break up monopolies.
Well, yeah, whatever. Okay. But I'm not going to sit here and say what Amazon is doing is terrible, because I'm not. Because I don't see it being terrible. What I see is a platform that was made that honestly is a genius thing that works. You have companies that go on that website. Yes. Does Amazon pop up more and more? Yeah, of course, because you're on Amazon's website. Why wouldn't they pop up first, right? So if you go and search, and that goes for every single search, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Amazon's bad for that. No, because this is Amazon's website. They made something that works great. It's like saying, okay, Facebook, we should yell at Facebook for doing whatever, but yet, why? I understand that companies get so big and they overtake this. Okay, fine. You can stop that. That's fine. If you don't want to kill the little person, little man, whatever, that's fine. I understand that. But you can't just sit here and be like, well, Amazon's terrible because they have their products up here and then they have sponsors here. The company chose to be sponsored.
Well, they did.
So
they did. But the big thing is to what degree is Amazon allowing consumers to be able to get the best thing for their money? If they only want to spend $5,
you get what you pay for. That's
but not when Amazon controls what you see. You get what they tell you. Look, you're going to get.
A lot of people, if you're going to buy a cable, if that's what? Well, how much was this again?
It was like $10.
Okay, you're going to buy an HDMI cable for $10. If you're going to sit there and say, "There's expect all this great things," then you're out of your mind, because it's a $7 cable, the one I'm looking at right here, for $6.99, which is a $7 cable. What do you expect? It's just going to be your bare minimum HDMI cable.
Well, okay, so so specifically in the case of HDMI, because it's digital, as long as it has the copper quality to be able to hold the signal, meaning it's met up to a certain standard, it's going to work the exact same. The fundamental problem isn't so much like the fact that this one's just an easy one because this is just the most.
No, I get it, but I'm just going with what your example is.
Right, but the problem is that if somebody traditionally let's say a coffee store, right? So it would be you have Starbucks, you have Dunkin' Donuts, right? So imagine if the only way you could order coffee from Dunkin' Donuts or from any other competitor was through Starbucks website. So Dunkin' Donuts coffee could be better quality, it could taste better, you would enjoy it more, and it wouldn't cost you as much. But because Starbucks owns the platform of how you can get to that coffee, they basically can tweak it and spoof it so you can never get to that. So even though Dunkin' Donuts is the one that's doing better, they are providing a better service, they are making a better product, Amazon, or Starbucks in this hypothetical scenario, inhibits that ability to do that. That's anti-consumer because that's bad for us. And that's anti-competition, which is also bad for us and for jobs.
I'm going to stick to, again, I'm sticking to my guns. Business is a dog-eat-doggy world.
I mean, it is.
You know what I mean? There's no nice things. There's no nice in business.
Right. No, this is true.
If Starbucks, let's go, I'm going to go with your example about Starbucks. That's a good example, too. If Starbucks did that, then obviously they're the better person. They're a better company. Want to know why? They're the one that came up with the idea, hey, we can actually take this coffee, this competitor here, this competitor, put it on our website, and we can do da-da-da-da-da. That's not their fault that Dunkin' Donuts didn't do that. It's not their fault that the other person didn't do that. They did it.
Yeah, but now Dunkin' Donuts goes out of business, and now your jobs tank.
I'm sorry.
There's more to it because it's not just who is a better marketer. A lot of what the House is doing, a lot of what they're talking about with the whole monopoly thing is the abuse of antitrust and a bunch of other stuff. So I just went into Amazon a little bit more, and just a better way to sum up what they're talking about as far as Amazon is from American Economic Liberties Project. And they said Amazon's power is not primarily based on providing a better set of products or services, but on exploiting gaps in antitrust, tax, privacy, and other forms of law to acquire a continual set of competitive advantages. So it's not just that their products are better or anything like that. It's also that they're using like negative ways that can potentially harm us in a way in order to benefit themselves.
They found a wormhole.
A loophole.
Wormhole, loophole, doesn't matter. It's a hole.
Wormhole.
Bezos found a wormhole, all right.
No, they found a loophole and they did it. Look, McDonald's ain't good for us, but look at them. They're in business, right?
Yeah, but McDonald's isn't stopping you from getting Burger King.
You're right. But Amazon, again, they found a loophole. Can you fault them? That's like, because here's the thing. I have an issue faulting the company because if it was me or someone else, and let's say someone in our situation right now are having this discussion. They're like, Joe's this terrible person because he found a loophole. Am I really that terrible? No, because I found a loophole and I found a way to make money. It's everything. Everybody does it, unfortunately, in America. I know it's a bad thing to say that, but at the same time...
No, but everybody doesn't. Everybody does it, because you're right. Everybody does do it, and to say that we would or wouldn't do it when we're never, ever probably going to ever be in that situation to make a decision, you're right. We would probably do the same thing to push come to shove. I mean, it's you flip a switch and suddenly you're making billions more.
Yeah.
That doesn't, regardless of everyone doing it, doesn't make it right. And the problem is that the ones that bite it are the middle and lower classes.
When was the last time you ordered something from Amazon?
A lot of equipment here I ordered from Amazon. But the last time I ordered something from Amazon, I don't know, some SD cards a few weeks ago.
But you said a lot of this equipment is from Amazon. Why? Why didn't you go to a store or something to get.
Well, stores don't usually have tripods like this. Best Buy won't have tripods like this. And these aren't Amazon tripods. I was also, when I did my research on the lights here and the microphones, I mean, that was just a way to get that. Best Buy, and this could be partially because of Amazon just having all the stock. It might be too expensive for companies like Best Buy to host these kind of specific items that aren't mainstream items. They were available there, and the price to performance ratio, from what I was seeing online, it just fit the bill, and prime.
And there you go.
Yeah, but that's different. Amazon, I'm not talking to an Amazon Basics microphone right now.
No, you're not. But the thing is, you still had a choice. You had
No, I really
no,
didn't.
but you had a choice of what microphone to buy, didn't you?
Yes, no, but that's different. That's like basically saying I'm not going to go to the place that has the right tool that I need to do the job.
No. You're getting what I'm saying wrong, and maybe it's the way I'm saying it. What I'm saying is, when you went on Amazon.com, you had a bunch of mics, right, to choose from. All I'm saying is you had a choice of what mic to get. That's all I'm saying. Not saying
You're
that
right.
you had a choice to go to Best Buy.
Right.
Obviously,
I did have a choice.
Yeah.
I am also more well versed in what to look for, the things that I want. But when you're talking about standard stuff, there's lots of people that aren't. And what Amazon does is they put that stuff ahead, so you don't get the same opportunity to make an informed decision. You can't. They work the system in such a way that inhibits you from being able to do your research.
What's the difference, though, by going... here's a question for you. What's the difference between someone that doesn't know anything? They go inside a Best Buy. Hey, I need an HDMI cable. That guy, there, let's say Steve, right? Steve takes them. Oh, yeah, you're going to need this HDMI cable. It's $99. Okay. They didn't know. They just spent $99.
Right, but the difference is that it wasn't presented as the only option first. They saw a huge wall. They saw a huge wall of HDMI cables.
Well, no, what I'm saying is the associate of Best Buy.
Sure, that's sales. But
Yeah.
no, absolutely. And people do that all the time.
Exactly.
But that's not necessarily right either.
I
We're not
know.
talking, but just because it happens doesn't mean that it's right. I understand the parallel.
And I understand where you're coming from too. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm just getting at is they're at the end of the day, they're not worse than Best Buy. They're all the same.
No, they are all the same.
Right.
It's like I said a few episodes ago. The companies sometimes need to take the hit.
You're absolutely right, and I agree with you.
And there's so many different scenarios. A lot of them end up becoming political, but there's so many different scenarios where it's like a regulation comes out,
And
and the businesses, rather than take the financial hit.
And my thing is this. That's why I can't sit here and be like, Amazon. Because I've seen it. I've dealt with it with Best Buy. Dealt with it, seen it at Target, at local stores. It's like, okay, I understand it's a bad thing that everyone's doing it. But at the same time, it's like, well, if they're doing it, Amazon's doing it, why look at them differently? And is it because that Best Buy's not as big as Amazon? You know what I mean? Is that the only reason? Is because Amazon's so big and maybe Best Buy and Target's not as big that we're looking at it like, oh, Amazon shouldn't do this?
Don't forget that Amazon isn't just an online marketplace. Amazon is AWS. Amazon is Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Amazon has
I get it.
Washington
all
Post.
this other stuff.
Yeah, but
so it's
Alexa.
when they're doing the thing for including Amazon in this, it's because of everything. It's not just retail.
No.
If it was just retail, they may not even put them in.
And I
But
totally
it's-
understand. But
Right. And Bezos had a philosophy where he would take money from other sections and then reinvest it into other sections as well. So if AWS was extremely profitable, he would take that money, dump it into Amazon, and he would basically get a huge tax write-off for doing that.
wouldn't that be the same thing though?
Here, let me draw it a different way. Just to, I might be able to find some common ground.
No.
Scalpers.
I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
I want to ask you. This is a question.
Sure.
Wouldn't that be the same thing when it comes to dealerships? Not dealerships. I'm sorry. Let me take that. Car manufacturers. So, for example, let's say Volkswagen. When they have Lamborghini, Bugatti, they have this, that, and the other. Isn't that the same thing what Amazon's doing
No.
with the different things?
It's not the same thing because you don't have to go through Volkswagen to buy a Toyota.
Okay, I see.
Where Volkswagen put the here's another way to do it.
Okay.
So like if we're talking about, because it seems like with the fundamental, and I love this conversation, by the way, this is exactly the kind of stuff that I want to be talking about more, the different sides of things. So when I think the fundamental basis of the discussion is whether or not companies should be allowed to do this. They obviously do this, and it's not good. It's anti-consumer.
Right.
So I'm going to try to draw. I'm going to attempt.
Right.
It might be weak sauce. I'm going to attempt to draw a parallel to scalpers.
Okay.
Right. As far as a company is concerned, there's really no reason to stop the scalpers. They're going to get their money. But from a consumer perspective, like a new product comes out, the PlayStation 5. Let's say we got rid of all the scalpers. They would have still ran out of consoles and still made the same amount of money. So in essence, the scalpers are just doing what people do, and because those opportunities exist, are they allowed to do it? Because Amazon, like the fundamental basis is like, yeah, Amazon's just doing, dog eat dog business, like you were saying. Totally fine. I get that. Businesses do that kind of stuff all the time. But does that parallel over to scalpers because they're just people doing scalping things? Like, I mean, did they get the right to do that? Because that makes you pay for $2,000 for a PlayStation.
But I'm not going to sit there and buy it. I'll wait.
Not
But
you.
right. There's other people. I get it. But here's the thing. If there's no law in place, what's there to stop?
Right. So now, yes. And there's the fundamental question. Should there be a law for it?
If that's what this is going with, should there be a law? Like I said, I'm all about, here's the thing, because I want our listeners, because I know they're going to probably, I don't want people to be like, Joe's all about big business. No. I am for the mom and pop shops. I am for the little guys. But, so if we're saying those people are going to suffer, those people are suffering, obviously. If there's a way to stop it, then fine, do it. I'm not against it. That's why I just said I'm for the monopoly. And I know our past segment before we had that technical issue, I was like, oh, who cares? But when you explained it to me, and when Aaron explained it to me, I understood it, and now I know what it is. I'm all for it. That's why I changed my way of thinking.
Yeah.
So if it helps with stopping the mom and pop shops and these other businesses from going out of business and people being unemployed, then yes, do it. But
it doesn't really help that, unfortunately.
Then what's the point?
Because it basically gives you as the consumer the most bang for your money. It's an economic advantage. The more that you feel that something that you buy or own is worth, it's a weird economic science thing. I'm not going to get into it because I don't understand it well enough.
Sure.
But that is basically adding value to the economy. If I got you a thing and it was $200, but to you, for you to sell it, you would charge $300. There is some weird economic science thing that I learned in school a long time ago that basically adds value to the overall economy as a whole. So the more that you feel your goods are worth, the better. So knowing that you can get better choices and stuff, but the whole Volkswagen thing, that's a better way to paralyze to draw the comparison.
My thing is, if it doesn't, I understand consumer wise. Unfortunately, consumers, we all do the same thing. We all could be like, oh, screw that store, screw that store, screw that store. I'll never go to that store. Well, what are you left with? Where are you going to go? Well, now you got to go to that store.
Oh, no.
Go to that store.
Yeah, no, but what'll happen is...
And I'm getting to the Amazon problem.
Okay.
With Amazon, if there's no law, it's not going to help the mom and pop shops. It's not going to help these little guys.
Yeah. It won't help I don't think... the breakups would help.
Would it prevent them from going out of business?
Some, possibly.
What give me like a percentage. So, in a guess.
Just
a guess.
Straight up Carney style.
What percent?
What percentage of small businesses would be able to benefit from these bigger companies being broken up? Dom's guess, 30 seconds, go.
Can I give you some background information to help your guess?
Sure.
In 2016, there was a poll that was done by local business owners on Amazon. So out of the 3,000 local business owners, 70% of them said that their biggest challenge with selling things was Amazon as their biggest competitor.
So 70%. But of which one of those, see, I would look at it from the statistic but which one of those companies would have failed regardless of Amazon existing or not?
I don't know.
Right? Like how much of it is... They just said
that Amazon was their biggest...
I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm sorry. I just thought of something. No matter what, those companies are screwed. Why? Because, unfortunately, and I'm going to say it, we're lazy. We have the opportunity to buy it off our phone and it gets delivered to our door.
Well, that's what Etsy's for.
Huh?
But Etsy doesn't
Etsy's
have.
for local businesses.
But Etsy doesn't have same day
Yeah.
delivery and Prime.
No.
See, you got the
They could,
drones
though.
coming in. You got this
got
stuff.
Bezos is looking at your wife.
Unfortunately, we are a lazy society.
Oh, yeah.
So if we have the opportunity, I don't have to get off the couch. I can just.
Right. And this is why you see Toys R Us failed, because what Toys R Us was doing,
Toys R Us is actually coming back.
it is coming back, but the reason that they basically died out is because they went ahead and got all their fulfillment done for toy delivery through Amazon.
Yeah.
Even though they could have destroyed the market with toy delivery services had they tried to create a competing service, but nobody knew what Amazon would become. And that's where now the question is, because they now have so much stuff.
They do.
Now, if it was just an online marketplace, all right, fine, let them be an online marketplace. But the problem is that if the online marketplace dips, dude, during the whole COVID thing, they were making so much money.
Oh, they were like, this is enough money, basically.
They had to remove things from their site that they spent millions on to get people to buy more. Mm-hmm. That is the most ass backwards business thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah. It's like the Mr. Beast method. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how is this possibly working? They were making so many sales. Yeah. They had to remove functionality from their website to reduce sales.
So, I mean, going back, the more I think about it, it doesn't matter what you do. As a society as a whole, those mom and pop shops and the little guys are going to be screwed no matter what.
Right. No, and that's the problem. If they have a phenomenal product, a really truly wonderful product,
yeah, they go to the store. Here's the thing, though, they have a phenomenal product, and those people can walk in the door. What are they going to do? They're going to look up the price and see that Amazon beat that person.
Yeah, and then they can get it price matched.
Some stores still don't do that.
Most,
and a lot of these little mom and pop shops won't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the other issue.
Yeah, they can't
right.
fight that.
That's the other issue.
Then the only way you can balance it out is by taxing Amazon in their bracket properly. If they get hit with taxes, that reduces their overall return and their overall revenues, because like it takes outright, so their net income goes down because they're paying taxes, which makes them have to bring their prices up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But here's the thing that goes into another discussion.
That's a whole nother thing, and this isn't completing the taxes.
This is not completing the politics.
Or completing the politics.
Yeah.
Although those would be some good side channels.
There would be.
You know, that'd be a great, like, if we were to ever just, pivot the whole YouTube thing and just go to doing taxes, like we're gonna get your W-2 figured out.
Oh God, no! The people would be screwed if I look at their W-2. Honey, I got $1 million coming to me.
You have this. You made 9 figures. So I see here under your SSN income, 229 dash 3. I didn't know you could separate it by dashes. Dash 9691. That's a lot of money. Why do you need money to pay for me?
And why is some of my money getting shipped to Joe?
Yeah, there you go. That's funny. Yeah, who's this JM? Anyway, no, that was a good segment, Erin. You look thrilled.
Oh yeah.
And I'm assuming she just now, when she's going to edit the podcast episode, she just cut to herself. So it's probably some weird, freaky freeze frame of me, and then she'll cut to herself right when she gets up out of the chair. It'll be fairly funny to watch. Sorry, no, that went into a thing. That was a good. I like that. That was a good. Talking point.
Yeah.
Well, there was a bunch of other stuff that wasn't about Bezos and Amazon. There was some stuff about games. Do we have the Cyberpunk story on there?
Final Fantasy?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk was last week.
Yeah.
No, Cyberpunk went gold.
Oh, we didn't
no.
have that up.
Right. No. So okay. Well, then I'm throwing an audible. I'm doing a Joey, and I'm pressing square, and then triangle, and then L1, and then down, and then left, and then I accidentally pressed the timeout button, and then
everything got screwed.
I call it timeout.
And then you threw it in.
So Cyberpunk went gold. So that whole crunch thing we were talking about last week that they were supposedly going to be having to deal with, possibly they're going to be late. They're good to go. So the game's good. Everyone's happy. I cannot wait to play this game. Now, here's a question for both of you guys. The upgrades from PS4 and Xbox One to next gen are free upgrades, meaning if you buy it on PS4, you'll automatically get the free upgrade to PS5. So does it make sense? Even though the game comes out after the console's launch, right? I think it's November 17th or something. What's the date on that one, Aaron? November 17th? November 19th? Something along those lines?
I lost the date.
That's okay.
19th.
The 19th, right? So the console will be out like a little bit over a week before.
Yeah, like I think November 10th.
So, first of all, I don't know if you buy the PS4 version now, if day one, I don't know, the game comes out no matter what on that day. So yeah, is it worth buying the PS4 version just to get the PS5 version for free? You're gonna play it. Oh, excuse me. You're gonna play it on PS5 anyway.
Well, I mean, if the people that pre-order the PS5, obviously they won't be able. They'll have the console before the game comes out.
Right.
Me personally, I won't probably have the PS5. Who knows till when? But I'll probably get it on PlayStation 4. But if there's other people that have the PS5 pre-order and they're getting it, then obviously they'll just get it with the PS5.
Right. I mean, you hear what I'm saying, though, right? Because effectively you can get it for two consoles for the price of one, but you're probably never going to play PS4.
And here's the other question you got to ask yourself. How long is the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One Series X going to be out of stock before you can get them in store? So once you get those numbers, then that's how you can decide.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be on a case-by-case basis. Aaron, what do you think? Did you hear what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of a strange.
I would do that. I don't have a PS4, but I have the PS5 coming in, so I'm just going to download it on the PS5. But if I originally had a PS4, then I would download it on that and get the free upgrade.
Right, because then technically speaking, so when you do get your PS5, so let's say you had a PS5 pre-order and all that stuff like that. So now, like, you move your PS4 to a different room, you can play PS5, right? And then you effectively have the game in two rooms, just one's on PS5, one's on PS4. So you effectively give it in two places. So there might be an advantage to that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just a thought I had. It's just an interesting thought for a game that, like, now if it was coming out like way, way, way later, I don't think that matters. No, I don't know what I was talking about there. Never mind.
No, if it was coming, like, if it was held back till December next year, then obviously, to me, the obvious answer is you get it on PS4.
Yeah, but by then you'd already have a PS5.
Or, I'm sorry, you get it on... Well, yeah, then you don't get it.
Yeah.
Because you have to wait till next year.
Yeah. So then at that point you might as well get it on PS. I don't know. It was just an interesting little fun thought I had on that one. I think there's a few other games that are getting that treatment too. I think Miles Morales is getting a free upgrade.
I think all of them are.
No, not every single game. Not every single.
I thought they were.
A good chunk of them are. Not every single game will. I don't. NBA 2K isn't.
Well, wait, no?
NBA 2K21, I don't think it's a free upgrade. Hold on. NBA 2K21 next gen free upgrade. Let's take a look. I don't think they do. Oh, yes it does. Wait. NBA 2K21, so this is Engadget back in July. Mm-hmm. NBA 2K21, I think we talked about this. Comes with a next gen upgrade, ... if you spend $100. So basically, if you get some digital...
If you get the deluxe version, or the Kobe... I believe it might be the Kobe Bryant. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, the Kobe Bryant.
The Kobe version?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That makes me mad.
Yeah, I mean, the graphics are good. Did we want to do the... What's our next story? Do we have the NBA story next? Or? We're doing it right now? Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Perfect segue.
If you guys get a chance, NBA 2K21's next gen video came out on YouTube. It's not gameplay, but it is in engine. It was in engine, so it looked like it was being rendered on a PlayStation. It was on PS5.
Yeah, but
it's not actual gameplay.
Right, but was the things that we saw being rendered by the game console itself, or was it a computer doing it? Pre-rendering it.
It was done by PS5.
Yeah. So that would be called in-engine. That looks like it's in-engine. I mean, those graphics.
All footage captured from a work-in-progress build of NBA 2K21 on PlayStation 5.
That's so good.
The big thing about these things is not just the graphics, the collision that they were going to put in this. Where if you dunk on somebody, that guy's flying backwards.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
It's impressive.
It's a beautiful looking... What I saw was beautiful looking. I mean, the court, the players look great.
Yeah.
The court was... the stadium itself was absolutely beautiful, but how the lighting is on the court...
That's that ray tracing, man.
Yeah. I know that they're getting rid of... I believe they're getting rid of Park.
They're getting... Oh, the Park mode?
Yeah, where you create, that My Player thing, and you can play on Park and stuff. I think they're getting rid of that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it looks great, and I'm excited. I'm actually excited to see what this is.
Yeah. No, I didn't think about it until you said something about the lighting with the ray tracing stuff. I was watching a Digital Foundry video, and they were talking about the use of ray tracing in the Miles Morales game.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with ray tracing?
Somewhat.
And what that is? Aaron, are you familiar with ray tracing?
Yeah.
Okay. Long story short, it basically accurately represents how light is reflected off surfaces. It's not simulated. And it is simulated, but it's simulated based off physics.
The Miles Morales, how the light was on the buildings, how it was,
right.
You know, when he was swinging in the web.
Right.
And the one thing about that game, another thing about that game that's beautiful is that the PS5, with everything that's in that thing, the buildings are never just appearing. They're there already.
There's no popping.
There's no pop in. They're just there.
They're just always there when they need to be. Yeah,
exactly.
It's gonna be great.
You're swinging out so fast because you've seen it. I'm sure on PS4 and PS3 where different games you see things just pop in.
Yeah, they haven't loaded yet.
But this one,
it's smooth. Just instantly there.
Yeah,
and you know what's funny? When BioShock Infinite was getting developed, one of the developers said, you may not realize it, but to scale, when you're playing like a first-person shooter or any game and you start to run, that's the equivalent of you running at like 60 miles an hour. It's like a human being, like to scale with how fast you're actually covering. Like that is how fast you would be measured, right, in speed. So the problem they were having is there's a secondary character called Elizabeth that follows you around, and human beings don't look right when you make them run at that speed, and she has to be able to keep up with you. So the idea that with the Spider-Man, where you're not just running, but you're flinging. So now you're going substantially faster, you know, like to scale, right? So let's say, let's say he goes 3 times faster than how you'd run in a normal game. That's 180 miles an hour, let's say. Well, just 150. To be able to load stuff in at 150 miles an hour, at that resolution, that detail, and ray trace it at possibly 120 frames per second? Well,
that's why I'm actually curious to see how Madden does on the new gen.
Yeah.
I know there's a YouTube video. I didn't watch it, but they're already saying how Madden's already failed.
Yep. That's one of our more popular clips. Have you guys seen the data on that one? Aaron made a thumbnail.
Oh,
Madden,
no. This
sucks.
No, this is actually, they already failed on new gen.
Oh, God.
Like, there was a video of it. I didn't go into it. I'm just like, how do you guys... Okay. Obviously, I don't know what it was about. I'm not going to talk about it, but curious about how that would be. I'm also curious about... what was the other thing? Oh, what'd be cool on these new gens if they actually make a Superman game, because these new gens can handle it.
Yeah, I'd like to see. They'll probably start making more superhero games now that they have Marvel out and all that stuff.
Batman, they already have that.
Yeah, they're always going to make those. I'm saying, like, I would love.
Superman's hard because he's an indestructible guy.
He can do everything. But his powers are fairly basic. I would say someone like Green Lantern would be a hard game to make. Like, how do you make a control scheme that's like a hammer and a saw and what else? The guy can make anything with that freaking.
They already do that.
Do they have a Green Lantern?
Injustice 2.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like an action game, like a full-on action game where you could you have to make the thing in real time.
Oh, I don't know, but that won't be hard.
You don't think so?
No,
I don't think that'd be
not as hard, because the reason for Superman is hard is because they have a hard time coming up with a story of how do we make it balanced, basically.
Oh yeah, because you got a guy that's can do anything, and he's basically a glorified plant.
But if they actually make a Superman game, please make it where we can fly into space. That'd be cool. Awesome.
Outside of the atmosphere.
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto style.
Yeah, just go out and be able to fly into space, and then and then fly back on the Earth. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. No, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. And you know what? They'll probably be able to do stuff like that. It's not like space would be hard to do. It's just there's just nothing out there. We got some more gaming stuff. Joey brought in this story here. I got to put my computer on mute.
So, ladies and gentlemen, because I know ladies are into this game,
and we got listeners. Look at the analytics.
So
16% female.
We have Black Ops Cold War beta release, which should be October 10th through the 12th is the first wave, and then the second wave is 16th through the 20th is the second wave. You will be able, if you guys already have Modern Warfare right now, you can download it from there. It'll open up in your in the PlayStation Store, and you'll be able to
Wait, if you already have Modern Warfare, that Modern Warfare that came out last year, it just builds itself into there?
I shouldn't say that because, you know what? Scratch that. If you guys have an Xfinity, I'm guessing, though, because they are doing this beta, that you can. Because I know in my Call of Duty, but I didn't know if that was from Xfinity because of that email I showed you.
Oh, right.
I don't know if that was that or if it's just because when they did because the Cold War was sitting in that game today in the Modern Warfare.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Talking about Xfinity real quick. Xfinity sent out an email to customers. If you are an Xfinity customer, you should go into your email and double look for this, saying that they are going to provide us a code to be able to play the beta of Cold War. So if you are an Xfinity customer, go through your emails and look for that.
Okay. And it might be in your Comcast email too, because I know that I don't have those emails set to come to me. Like there's like I have like a Comcast or an Xfinity account, like an email account.
Oh,
that I never wanted, but they made me make.
Oh, I didn't have to make one.
You might have one and you don't even realize it. You might. I don't know.
It comes to my Yahoo.
I've had my Comcast account now for mine comes to my external account too, but there's also it's weird. It's weird. Okay. But I've had my account since like 2009. So it could be just an old legacy thing of that. Let's get Aaron involved. What I know you're not a big Call of Duty person, but what do we have for the next story? Anything interesting?
Final Fantasy.
Well, that's just going to be me talking. Okay, I'm going to talk.
That's all that's left.
That's all that's left? That's all we have left? That's the last story? Well, the final story is about Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 update. Square Enix says it has completed basic development. Ooh. Well, I mean, I'm not going to be the only one here, getting excited about this.
Yay, Final Fantasy 16.
Hey, you would actually like the 7 remake. You would actually enjoy it more than I think you realize. Why are you making those lip noises? Stop doing that. That's weird.
Final Fantasy 16, yay.
You saw the trailer, right? It was very action based and they had the blood. Actually, it's going to be
never saw the trailer.
It's going to be an M-rated game. Number 1, which has never had supposedly.
Whoa.
Well, okay. Aaron, no, you haven't really played a lot of Final. You've watched me play Final Fantasy stuff.
Bring back Metal Gear. Konami.
No, this is exciting. I'm curious to see how long they've been working on this thing, because between the Final Fantasy 7 remake and God only knows what else they've been working on, if they've completed basic development, I would assume that means they have a working game. So
it's probably going to be the repeat of Final Fantasy 14.
15 was the problem. 14 was also a problem. It better not be. That was abysmal. I don't know. We'll keep. Does it have any other details in that one?
There's a girl
in that story, Aaron?
I'm looking. It just says they're looking for staff to help finishing out the work of the world and extensive cinematic cutscenes. But It sounds like the main path of the game is set. Okay. And so now they're building it out from there.
Okay, cool. So they're doing the polish and making it pretty and doing a bunch of animations. Well, that's cool. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to that one. I am looking forward to Remake Part 2 news as well. But I mean, this is definitely a step in the right direction.
Where's the Grand Theft Auto 6 news?
Come
on, Rocksteady, give me a bone. Rockstar. I keep thinking about the energy drink.
Rockstar is an energy drink. Aaron.
Rocksteady makes Batman.
Oh yeah, duh. Rockstar is an energy drink, not Rocksteady.
Aaron, we just said the same thing at the same time. I did fingers. I did the finger dabs, and you just ignored. Anyway, guys. Well, so I think that's about the end of this episode. So yeah, guys. If you've been following us for a long time, which I know there's a few of you that have, hopefully, throw us a review if you haven't on iTunes. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. Throw us a like there. Throw some comments. You can find us on Twitter as well at Completing the C. You can find most of our social media information on our YouTube, basically any of our YouTube videos. And if you go to completingthecircuit.com, it will take you to the main channel where you can find a lot of our stuff. But yeah, definitely throw a review down there, guys. It helps like a crap ton.
Otherwise, I get abused.
Yeah, Joey gets beaten for every review you don't leave. So don't promote Joe abuse. And that's how that goes. So anyway, guys, yeah, thanks for listening. And we will see you next week, where my presumption is it's all going to be about that Apple event.
No.
Anyway, guys, that's the end of this episode. And Aaron, any last thoughts?
No.
Shocker. Take it easy, guys.
All right. Anyway, see you around.